Hi everyone, Glenn Sadler here. This is my tutorial on regular expressions. So a regular expression is an object that describes a pattern of characters used to perform pattern matching and search and replace functions on text. You'll note that the regular expressions are situated between two forward slashes. These expressions are found in most every programming language, including PHP, JavaScript, Perl, Ruby, C#, etc. Regex or regexp are shortened terms for regular expressions. You will see these terms pop up when speaking of regular expressions. So the example that we see here is what you will see this week. It is used to validate the client-side password in the login and register view. Just a note here, regular expressions can be used to validate phone numbers, zip codes, email addresses. That's cool. So I must admit that this can look pretty daunting at first glance, but hopefully you'll be able to glance the basics from this tutorial. I have, however, found that it's easier to demonstrate rather than try to explain. So in the interest of time, I'm simply going to show the items that we'll come across, such as anchors, which do not match any character. Instead, they match a position before, after, or between characters. They can be used to anchor the regex expression at a certain position. Then we have brackets, which are used to find a range of characters. And meta characters, these are characters with a special meaning. And then we have quantifiers. A quantifier goes after the pattern that's repeated and says how many times to repeat that pattern. So let's get started. I'm going to go to Regex 101, which I think is a really cool site, and we'll start having a look at some of these. So a dot is a meta character, and it will match any character except line terminators. Then we'll come across the /s, which is it matches any white space character, and the capital S is the opposite. It matches any non-white space character. Then you've got the W, which will match any word character, and the capital W any non-word character. Then the D/D matches a digit between 0 and 9, and the capital D, yes, as you thought, it matches any character that is not a digit. So the exercise I want to go through is to look for an expression that will validate a phone number. So the phone number, according to the North American numbering plan, is as follows. Area codes start with a number 2 to 9, followed by a 0 to 8, and then any third digit. The second group, known as a central office or exchange code, starts with a number 2 to 9, followed by any 2 digits, and the final 4 can be any digit. So let's start off with anchor at the beginning of the line. Okay, the first one we want to take into consideration is the opening parenthesis. Okay, now because the opening parenthesis the parenthesis is used for regular expressions, to be able to display the literal, we need to put a what they call escape, or put a backslash in front of it. In this case, we want to have or not have it. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is look for the digits in the range of, as we see, 2 to 9. So we got 2 to 9 inside brackets will give us our first digit. Okay, the second digit needs to be between 0 to 8. It's coming together quite nicely. Then the last digit can be any digit. So we can use one of two options. We can do 0 to 9, or we can use this /D. Okay, next thing we want to do is capture that closing bracket. Because we use the parenthesis, we have to use the literal, so we escape that and put a closing parenthesis, and we can have it or not. So we're doing quite nicely here. Now we want to look at the dots and the dashes, and of course probably a space. So we'll go /s or a space or not. Then we can have dots and dashes or not. Okay, so that's our first group. Remember we talked about using parentheses as grouping. That's our first group. Now let's look at our second group of digits, and we'll just start with grouping digits, grouping parentheses, and we want to find the first digit. It's got to be between 2 and 9, so let's do that, between 2 and 9. Great, we've got the first digit. The next two digits can be anything, so we can use /d and use quantifiers, and we've got to have 2 digits. Okay, and then finally we've got to capture either a space or not, or dots and dashes, or not, and then we'll go to our final group, which is the last 4 digits, and we can go /d, and you know it, quantifier 4, and let's anchor the end of that. So that's pretty much what we need to do here. You can have spaces in there, spaces in there. Great, so that works fine. Finally, I want to just show you real quick the some regular expression functions. There's the preg match. This is used to perform a pattern match on a string. It returns true if a match is found and false if a match is not found. And here's the code. The output of the code is this below. In the preg replace, this function is used to perform a pattern match on a string and then replace the match with specified text. This is the code, and this is the output of the above code. Then we've got a preg split. This function is used to perform pattern matching on a string and then split the results into an array. So here's the code, and here's the output of that. And these are my references. Thank you so much for watching. I know that was quite a bit, but hey, thank you for watching.